Welcome to the first episode of The Inside Track, where we go behind the scenes, interviewing some of Australia's top designers to get their design inspiration, creative processes, and learn the stories behind some of their most stunning projects. We're here at Studio Trio today to chat with Lauren and Stephen about their journey and what inspires their designs. Lauren, tell us about how you first started off in design.
I have been in the interior design business for 25 years. I started actually working for a design firm 25 years ago when I was very young in Beecroft, and we did high-end residential. So basically I started at the bottom and worked my way up. Then from there I actually had a bit of a stint in soft furnishings. So I learned a lot about fabrics for about a year. I just kind of wanted to do something a little bit different. And then I thought, no, I need to go back into interior design. So then I actually worked in Northbridge. The company was called Decor Room at the time. And I worked there as an interior designer for quite a long time. My predecessor there asked me if I would be interested to purchase her business. I was 27 years of age at the time, and I said, yep. Didn't know what I was doing, but I'm like, okay. I've worked in my own business for 17 years and pretty much rebranded it, put my own stint on it, and here we are today. I met Stephen, and he's my husband, and we decided to join forces, and here we are.
Lauren and I met about 7 years ago. And prior to that, I'd been working in the trade industry for quite a while, done a lot of renovating as well as my own trade. So when I met Lauren, she was getting busier and busier. So we thought to join forces and let me help her out as much as I can, giving the construction knowledge and the background knowledge that I have and apply it into the interior design business.
So Lauren, tell us what influences your design style, or how do you get inspiration for your designs?
Look, I would say, true to my heart, I am a classic crooner, I would say. Yep. Probably more neoclassical. So I quite like, even though I like classical homes, I like sort of bringing the modern sense into them. So I kind of like to mould or infuse the two. I do get inspired a lot by American design, I would say, is probably where my passion lies. I love to see, they've got big homes there. They're big sort of, all the movies you ever watch, there's classic homes in the background. Yeah. And that's really, classic American design, I think, is what drives me. And I get lots of inspiration from what American designers are doing or how they're approaching things. So that's where my sort of true inspiration comes from.
Amazing. Yeah, that timeless look, that look that will still be as impressive in 20 years' time as it was when you first designed it.
That's correct.
All right, so Lauren and Steve, do you have a dream project that you would like to work on in the future?
We do actually, Diesel. So a big dream of mine and also Stephen's is to actually, we'd really like to build or design a Georgian home right from the start. When I say Georgian, not a modern Georgian home. I'd love to actually do it, how the Americans do it, where they use like beautiful kind of like old school brick and shutters and beautiful like mouldings around all of the windows with like, overexposed sills and lovely detailing.
So you would design it from the outside in? You'd work
Everything. Like we keep snapping photos all the time. It's terrible. Yeah. I'm like, oh my goodness, there's a new one. There's a new way of doing it. But I think that we would like to make it quite authentic. Yeah. Like beautiful, sort of how they used to have Georgian homes, very symmetrical.
Yes.
I love symmetry. Yep. So very, very symmetrical, very formal, lovely sort of tall windows with lots of light coming through it with all sort of the colonial glazed, windows on it. I even love the shutters, the chimneys, beautiful staircase. I also love, sort of true Georgian homes where they sort of have like beautiful sort of angled window sills, and the shutters kind of fold back. So I've got all this dream.
So obviously you guys use a lot of mouldings in your projects, from your classic to your heritage style homes. Tell us a bit about what goes into the selections of mouldings. Why do you use them, and what impact do mouldings have in your homes?
So mouldings have a huge impact, especially in classic homes, which we do a lot of, Diesel. When you think about sort of using like an oversized cornice that's quite decorative, then you have to think, well, how does my skirting board relate to that cornice? Do I put corner blocks, which I use a lot of your corner blocks, love Intrim's corner blocks. Do you sort of incorporate that on doorways to kind of really elevate the doorways? You think about using sort of oversized, 115 wide sort of heritage architraves and things like that. So they have a huge impact, especially even with wall paneling. I find with wall paneling, whether or not you do sort of a dado height or you take it sort of full height, especially in homes that you work in that have like a lot of sort of like voided areas or sort of high spaces, it's just sort of a big plain white wall can look absolutely boring. So you sort of think, let's kind of invite some mouldings into this because it really sort of anchors the space. The other thing that I love about mouldings is that you can put wallpaper above them. You can put wallpaper inside of them. They're just so versatile.
Stephen, do you have any tips on planning out mouldings to make sure that practically what comes from the design actually occurs? Any mistakes you see with mouldings on site?
Yeah, definitely, Diesel. I think a lot of the mistakes are made, especially in the sizing, to make sure that you ensure your architraves are larger than the dado rail, so there's one protruding over the other, not one that is the chair rail further than the architrave, for example. Things like that, just making sure all the sizing and thicknesses do correlate one between the other, because it can be a huge mistake.
So Lauren, your design style is even carried through into this stunning office space. Tell us a bit about how you got inspiration to use mouldings and what helped you select the mouldings for this space.
So because I love doing classic homes, I really wanted to have mouldings in my office. I think because I use them a lot, I love them, I know how to use them. I felt it was really important that, it should reflect my personal style. And I just had to have mouldings in my office. So then, because our office, it's not a huge space, I thought I can't just go and wallpaper all the walls. It's going to like close the space in. It's going to make people feel like, oh my goodness, there's too much, and some people don't like wallpaper, so I didn't kind of want to go too hard on that. So I kind of felt like, well, let's do a little bit of a combination of both. So I decided to use wall paneling and obviously paint it grey, because grey is quite a contemporary colour. And then we've got this lovely sort of chair rail across here where it's actually got fluted sort of moulding design in it, so it's a little bit more contemporary. So it kind of nods to that little bit of contemporary. And then by injecting wallpaper inside, it's there, it's kind of wow, but it doesn't overwhelm the space, which is really, really important. So I kind of feel like it's sort of really elevated the space and made the space very beautiful. And also too, when our clients come in and they're coming in for, a heritage home or a modern classic home or even a modern home, I wanted the clients to be immersed in my head, I guess, or my space, and kind of like, they come in and they just look around, they're like kids in lolly shop, and they're like, oh my goodness, what have I walked into here? This is like beautiful, incredible. I want this in my home, and they just get immersed in, our styles. So that's the reason why I chose to use mouldings in here.
It's incredible. Like they can get a taste or a sense for what their home can be like, or even just a starting point of what the possibilities are
100%.
using mouldings.
Yeah.